All right, greetings everybody. Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about team building in our weekly team building video, and it's pretty simple this week for at least some of the things. So let's talk about what's been happening in terms of the JP meta. Well, it seems like we can definitively say 100% that this is still remaining on JP to be the overall strongest team. Now, I say that with a bunch of caveats, like you obviously need and have good mastery and good, just hollow vision cards if you want the best, right? Because essentially all those things add up and make a team generally better. But the kind of boring thing to say here is that yeah, it's just kind of good if you have access to everything in the game and you can just put the three strongest characters with TMRs that support maybe some of the things that they're missing and whatnot. And just to highlight, this is not the definitive team. Like Peachin's video just showed it off better, where some things like, for instance, the new version of Kitsune, who her trust mastery is better in class. King Bradley's TMR is almost usually better in class than some of the stuff that we see here. But it does remain a point. This is essentially what is looking to be the overall best team in GP. So, now that that's done and said out of the way, what else is noteworthy? Well, I think the overall noteworthy thing is that oh, ignore this. I just wanted to show off what 3 months looked like in a party together. It's completely irrelevant to anything that we're talking about. The overall, spear-based team that I have previously shown is actually pretty darn good. I can actually just really quickly reconstruct it. So basically ends up just being, hey, throw Wind Veritas in there, throw Old, and last but not least, throw Volk in there as well for a little bit of defense, because Volk is the one tank who seems to be particularly kind of excelling right now out of any of them. Like, this team is actually really, really good, surprisingly. Like, maybe even, it's the one group of pure old units that feel like it is staying very, very competitive against the overwhelming amount of power that is out there and being thrown around. So yeah, this team, do not underestimate it. It is actually really, really good. For people who are looking to still run spears, good news, that's essentially what you'll be. The standout team, however, over the previous week is essentially this. It's not too terribly flashy or anything, but it is just 3 really great units when put together. Sephiroth is absolutely everywhere right now. There is no fire team of any reasonable capacity that is not essentially running Sephiroth and fully reincarnated. I mean, that's not something that I see all the time, but he is just generally good up to his 140, and it is highly recommended if you're going for Sephiroth to get him to his 140 as quickly as possible, because, yeah, he's pushing fire into being very competitive, and finally, a really good fire team that is completely away from evasion, that has offensive capabilities that are both magical and defensive, but the combination of poison off of Soul's Limit Burst with Sephiroth's curse status effect is really, really nasty. And the standout reason why I want to highlight this is my team of the week. That's a new thing. I don't have any flashy logos for it yet. Team of the week. What do I think? Big stain on. Need to get washed. It's coffee stain. I don't drink coffee. Yeah. So that's a complete 100% random thing from Umbra video, but you guys like that. Some of you do. This is my team of the week. It is a really insanely good team out there right now. Sephiroth is removing healing capabilities of a lot of units, which allows Soul to just be very strong. Of course, Strike is completely awful against this, but Volk brings in a really high amount of protection that essentially protects these two from a lot of offensive threats. And the reason, one of the key reasons why I'm choosing this as my team of the week is because it is actually insanely good into water. Like, you would expect the fire team to not be good against water, but it really truly is. This fire team is just super good because water depends a lot on healing capabilities. And guess what? Those are a lot of the time just really, really shut down. If Sephiroth gets his limit burst off and curses all 3 water units on the opposing team, it's lights out. That's it. And you know what? I have to say, this fire team is kind of one I like too, because its cost is only 270, which is pretty reasonable as opposed to the 300 cost team, which is making meta headwaves. So yeah, this just ends up being my team of the week for a lot of different reasons. And when we finally get some more easily accessible like curse resistance, then I think that this will be brought more into line. But as a mono element teams go right now, water has been really strong for multiple weeks. Earth, I think, has been generally strong. And now fire is just generally strong, with the newer units leading the charge into bringing them into more of the meta. But like, if I was to pick my kind of underdog, not high cost team, then it's definitely this. That is this one of the week. My overall strongest team is just the most boring, not too terribly much to talk about. Just stick whatever on there, and it's probably good enough. But this is my standout, noteworthy team, and one of the things that is pushing this to be even better is the new vision card that has come out on JP. Is a very, very strong offensive and defensive card. It is, of course, limited, so in its capacity, you do kind of gotta get it and max it generally quick. But here, just the resistance that it does end up giving, and you know, a little bit of accuracy and attack for whatever character is equipped. Even though it is essentially giving like quest bonuses, I still think it'll be insanely strong for PvP too, just because like the extra human killer for Sephiroth in combination with the bone, Sephiroth is going to be pumping out a lot for DPS. And it also supports spear VCs, it supports katana teams, and you can even throw, if you don't necessarily have soul, if you don't have, you know, X, Y, or Z, you can potentially throw maybe Setia in there. You could do a katana entirely team. There's a lot of flexibility and usability with this card, so I generally quite like it. But it is a Hollow Vision card, and my luck is absolutely bad. So what I want to do this week to kind of add out the video runtime, and you are more than welcome to turn off because I've talked about teams, is the supposed about talking about the fact that apparently there is, I've heard this to be true anyway, there is a curse resistance TMR rune that exists out there. Oh, interesting, you say, right? Right, I say it back to you. And I haven't seen it yet, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna run it on an HP orb, and we are just going to re-roll to high heaven, I guess, to try and get it. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching for essentially the Kanji, which I do have here. Thankfully, curse is, I think, generally pretty easy to spot. I might have re-rolled over it though, as I'm kind of just going. But let's see if we can get it. We have a bunch of, we have 100 re-rolls. I don't think we're gonna quite do that in this video. Maybe. Toad, not really what we're looking for. Toad again. All right, cool. Thanks a lot, game. Weakness resistance. I do believe a left rune should be fine. Stun resistance. not terrible, but not good. Yeah, I mean, there's still, like, Sephiroth is essentially everywhere on every team because he is a bonus unit this week, but thrown in with Light Witch Helena, light teams, dark teams, all kinds of shit. People are still doing it. I'm not familiar with the kanji for this, so I just going to do my quick translation. You know, for people who are really looking to start the JP side, it's paralysis, right? I don't see that one too terribly often. Of course, paralysis, not super meta luck. I wish I could use it on re-rolling, but no. Oh, luck again. Decreasing luck, maybe. Berserk. Don't want that. That's not it either. I mean, supposedly you could play along at home and guess the number when we're actually going to see it. Of course, never is an actual option because of how bad this is. Wait, hold on. I know it's not curse. Silence, that's right. Sometimes I see the kanji and I just don't remember. Stun is easy because it's essentially katakana. Hey, we did it! There it is. That's it. That's curse resistance right there. We did it. So I don't. You'll have to rewind the video and see what number that was. But down here, thankfully, we have enough resources that we can actually max it out. And I do believe this should be the higher one. Well, because yeah, 8% is the actual maxed out. Yeah, gonna do it right here on video. Easy as peasy. 25% curse resistance. It's not, in my opinion, enough to make like an insane amount of difference, but given the amount of Sephiroths that are running around, if you are a water player, you're probably going to want to put this in because it's the one thing that is reliably, like, you can run on a bunch of different characters right now and get really, really, really insanely good value out of it. Well, that's a good value too, just 4 extra HP for a little bit of extra. Let's lock this as I want to keep it for later. Yeah, so the curse status effect, I mean, some people might not know this, that this is actually obtainable on JP already. But it is also obtainable on global in the future. So yeah, one sec. So if you're curious, if you are starting the JP side, potentially in the future, this is the one. It's like kanji comes from, is essentially curse, would be the English spell, or malediction. Also can be known as a noun for charm and incantation. Norui, I believe, is the pronunciation of that. So there you go. Even got a little bit of a kanji lesson for free in this video. Congratulations to everyone, myself included. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we can do more of this kind of stuff in the future. Thanks so much for watching. See you later, and happy Sephiroth hunting in the future, water players. Although you're still probably going to lose.